Teixeira. Maybe the Whitecaps have taken all 3 points.
We were tired. We kind of needed to throw caution to the wind and push people into the attack. We needed a target up front.
Pablo told me, Axel, let's go.
5 minutes for Colorado to maybe get back in this game.
I went up against Kendall Watson. I ended up losing my balance in there and trying to brace my fall. I looked at my wrist and I saw it was a little bit bent, and I was like, this is not normal. I think I broke my wrist. It hurt a lot, but what was I gonna do? You know, it was the 90th minute. So I kept playing.
Axel Sjoberg.
Axel Sjoberg.
Axel Sjoberg.
Something along those lines.
The correct English pronunciation is Sjoberg. Shoe, like the shoe, berg, easy.
I wouldn't have a clue of what the Swedish version is.
Axel Sjoberg. Sjoberg.
My Swedish pronunciation is Sjöberg. So that's a bit harder. This is where I'm from, Stockholm, Sweden. That's that very pin here in Sweden. So it's not Switzerland. Switzerland is down here. Today we're making pancakes. Made the Swedish style a little bit healthier, obviously because I gotta be cooking. It's a good time for me to relax, especially physically.
Before his game days, he really likes me to cook for him. He doesn't want to stand. Like if you guys weren't here, he'd be pulling over a kitchen stool and he'd be sitting while cooking like this.
That's for the betterment of my soccer career. I started very, very early. I was 3.5 and kind of caught a love for the game. I never really had growth spurt. I would grow 3 inches a year, basically every year. My mom freaked out. She was like, are you ever gonna stop growing? So I actually did a scan. They measure your fingers and can judge how much left you got to grow. They came up with 6, 7 something, and that's pretty much what I ended up at. I played 12 years for the club, Drew Gordon. When they didn't give me a shot at the men's team, I didn't know what to do for the first time in my soccer career. Marquette showed an interest. It was a very short notice kind of thing, like, hey Axel, you interested in coming over? So I ended up booking a ticket. I wasn't ready to give up on soccer.
The Colorado Rapids, with the 14th pick in the first round of the 2015 MLS SuperDraft, select from Marquette University defender Axel Sjoberg.
The draft was one of the most interesting and best experiences of my life. I had no idea what was going on, honestly. My agent came up to me like 30 seconds before and said like, hey Axel, you're going to Colorado. It's hard to even describe stand-up. It's almost like you're not even in your body. That was the moment that still gets me. Holy ass, I made it.
Cizo across, right, Phillips has got it! Closed down by Sjoberg.
He had some good games and he had some not so good games, but if a play didn't go his way, he'd bounce back quickly and make the next play. As a young player, that's hard to find.
Van Dam plays it through, cleared away.
People cross balls into the box here. A 6'7" center back is just very tough.
We call him the big Swede or the big easy. It's very rare to see him lose aerial challenges.
It's a deterrent for sure. You got to try and keep the ball away from him.
I don't know what the other players see when they look at me, but I hope it's a massive human being taking up a lot of space, so hopefully they don't hit the ball there.
Some of the things that he's very good at have nothing to do with his size. He's a very good communicator.
Dos Santos, now on his left foot towards goal, off the defender in front. Leggett brings it down, his shot, another block by Sjoberg.
He's deceptively quick because he positions himself very well. There are a lot of players that we expected to be a handful for us, but he does so well against them.
The long legs of Sjoberg tidied up.
In order to have a good team, you got to have a good defense. and he's been a stalwart for us in the back.
He's a very serious guy, you know, and when it's practice time, it's practice time.
Spin it, yep.
He's an old, young guy, you know. Knowing what you're going to get from him day in and day out, I think, has been his biggest attribute.
You want to hit a few with me?
He's one of the first guys in, one of the last people out. You know, he's always taking care of his body before, you know, after practice. He's always staying for extra work.
There it is.
He's a guy that thinks about the game, talks about the game, studies the game.
I mean, those set pieces, perfect when they come in the middle.
Like I said, like if I whip it too hard here, the ball will go down quick because of the altitude.
Axel continues to impress by doing the little things right, and sometimes even surprising you doing things that you never thought he could do.
I was really just in a lot of pain, so actually when the ball was like in our half of the field, I was just standing there like holding my wrist. But then the ball kind of got into my vicinity, I pulled myself together, I got a flick on header onto Doyle.
Doyle getting around the corner on Waston. Doyle keeps his feet, clips it to the back post. Sjoberg! Sjoberg scores the equalizer!
The run that he makes is tremendous. His movement to get in the box when Kevin Doyle opened up on the left side was fantastic. And then obviously heading the ball across the face of the goal.
It was a huge morale boost for the team. That's him. You know, he's not someone who's going to beg off the field. He's not someone who's going to complain about it. He just gets on with it.
With the broken wrist and carrying on, I think that's the spirit of the group. That's the mentality of the group, and I think Axel embodies that.
I felt a little bad that I had been telling him to stop whining about his wrist because it had been bothering him for a couple weeks, and that's when it finally like split. But I was really happy for him that he finally got a chance to be the hero for once instead of being behind the scenes. This is all Axel can cook. This is his one recipe. So
That is not true. That's not.
What is your other recipe?
completely
Let's talk about
false.
your other recipe.
This may be the only
Axel,
recipe I follow.
You
But you know,
can't
as a
cook
true
anything.
chef, you follow your instincts.
It's funny because on the field, he's so serious and he's like a totally different person than at home because he's like a big goofball.
There you go, beautiful flip. As a professional player, you can get very caught up in what you're doing if you don't have some kind of a balance in your life. And she's my balance. We have so much fun. There it is. I can't imagine doing this without her. The top one is from my first year and my first professional year, and Ellie was so nice to have it framed. It's been a long journey, but I actually made it pro. This is my childhood dream, and you know, I got there.